Hello, worm farmers. I wanted to show you how I set up a $6 worm composting bin. I went to Home Depot and got a $6 concrete mixing tub. It measures 28 inches by 20 inches and it is 6 inches deep. It holds about 10 gallons of bedding. And there is no lid, so luckily I had these on hand. They're lawn and leaf bags from Target with a cute little flower pattern. So I cut it and folded it and made a little lid so that the worms would feel nice and cozy in their bedding. So I prepared the brand new bedding for my worms, put some shredded cardboard down to absorb some of the liquid from my blended food scraps. Food scraps were way too wet. I'm still learning. In the future, I think I'm going to defrost it, squeeze out the water, and then blend it to separate out some of that water from the food. Added some eggshells for grit and some coffee grounds. Now the thing with having a bin that is only 6 inches off the floor is that some other intruders might come out and check it out. My little dog is about 6 inches off the ground and she was very curious about the contents. I unloaded a pound of red wiggler worms straight on top of the area where I had put all the food. I had to figure out a way to make a lid for this compost bin that would keep out the rain yet still allow for airflow. Because the bin is only 6 inches deep, there's no room at the top of the bin to drill any holes. I also didn't drill any holes in the bottom of the bin because I want to try and maintain an ideal moisture level by either adding more dry bedding or wet food as needed. The 6-inch tall tub appealed to me because I wanted to be able to store this indoors on a shelf in the garage. One of those 16-gallon totes with a lid would just be too deep. I wouldn't have room for it. I found these 2x4 cedar scraps that were left over from a deck project, and I thought, oh, I can elevate a lid if I just put them across the two corners. Next, I had to find a lid, something that was big enough to cover the whole thing and not be permeable to water. I wandered my yard forever and then I stumbled upon this idea of using this large plastic lid that comes with a composting set that the city of Seattle had given our neighbors probably a decade ago. And it was just laying in their backyard and they offered it to me maybe a week before I put this bin together. The cedar boards give the lid a perfect 1.5 inch lift and there's great ventilation all throughout the top of the bin. There are 4 holes in the lid and I just covered them up with a rock to keep the rain out. I'm excited to use this bin as a way of harvesting castings using horizontal worm migration. This is when you have a bin full of finished worm castings and you want to separate the worms from the castings. You just put food on one edge of the bin and all the worms go to the edge and then you just scoop out all the finished castings. Many thanks to the city of Seattle for this awesome gigantic lid, which is a perfect solution to my do-it-yourself worm bin concept. Thanks for watching.